What you mean, babe?
What are you doing? How are you? Who's your friend?
I'm not no friend.
Who's your friend?
I'm not no
Who's
friend.
your friend? No, I'm getting this because we getting a divorce, and I need all the evidence that I can get.
Oh,
And this is the third or fourth woman that I caught him with. And who are these? Who are these?
These is his kids.
Those are my kids.
No, you can call me baby mama because you finna be on some child
me,
support. Because what you mean?
We just came back. We just came back from Greece. You just proposed. You just proposed to me.
Why you got the
You
camera
just
so close? Why you got the camera in my face?
because I need. You just asked me to renew our vows after 20 years, and you're gonna be in here with her.
It's
Oh
my
no,
daughter's
they
birthday.
gonna get all this
you mean it's my daughter's
evidence.
birthday? You a
All this evidence is going
my
right to
daughter's
court.
birthday.
And guess what?
What evidence?
I'm not getting half. I'm getting about 70%
I'm
on
sorry.
that.
I'm
You know,
Sorry, because I didn't
these
know
kids,
about her. What you mean?
these kids are old as hell. These kids old as hell. So how long
And
is
they is, and they is.
How
And how
long
long
have
y'all
y'all
been
been-
married? Because
20
I've been
years,
around
20 years. He just asked me to.
Okay,
He just asked me to renew our
So
vows
you-
last
look,
week
look,
in
look.
Greece.
Don't play
So
me.
when did he take you to
You
Greece?
dumb. You dumb.
So when did he take
and
you
I
to
guess
Greece?
I'm dumber.
When did he take you to
Don't
Greece?
worry about it. I went to
Exactly.
Paris with
All he
him.
gonna do
I
is
went
give you
to
these
Paris.
babies. I bet you he ain't help you with them though.
worry about
I bet
it.
you he ain't. I bet you he ain't.
British woman just found out that her husband has another family in Nigeria for over 20 years. This 48-year-old British woman named Becca says she visited Nigeria recently for the burial ceremony of her father-in-law, and then I found out my husband, who I have been married to for over 25 years, has another wife and kids back in Africa. He never wanted me to be in that ceremony, but I insisted. We have lived in the UK and traveled the world together. I feel betrayed, but I can't leave him because of the reason I married him was the sex. This British woman don enter one chance, but unfortunately this is very, very common. I see it a lot. I've heard a lot of stories. You see some men getting married to white oyibos in the UK while they have families here, and he has a family for over 20 years, plus they don't have kids together. Me personally, I not to blame the man. Oh, maybe he went to the UK for greener pastures, right? And the lady says she does not want kids, so they have no child together. It is practically impossible for an African man to agree to that. I am not saying it is right for him to deceive this woman for over 20 years, but if you look in another way, most of the times they do this for a better life for greener pastures, but it is still wrong on all levels.
Picture this. You have been with someone for 5 years. You share a home, a dog, a life, a family with him. He tells you he has to travel for work constantly. Late nights, weekends, conference, and out of the state meetings. You trust him completely until one afternoon, a simple errand turns your entire life upside down, right? Because he was not on a business trip, he was at his other house with his other wife. Looking back, the signs were all there, right? Aren't they always there? The sudden change in his routine, the way his phone suddenly glued to his hand even when he goes to the bathroom, the emergency work calls during holidays. But when you love someone, you give them the benefit of the doubt. You tell yourself, he's just stressed about work, he's providing for our future. Like he used to pack his bags for these trips. He used to fold his shirts. He used to slip a note inside his pocket, completely unaware that those shirts were going straight into a whole different closet, in a whole different zip code. If you have lived through this, you already know the kind of mind rabbit is. If you haven't, I hope you never have to. Looking back, the red flags were always there, right? But when you love someone, you actively talk yourself out of seeing all these red flags. We are talking today about people who somehow manage to pull off a secret second family. Not just a quick double life affair, but an entire separate household, complete with a mortgage, kids, and a whole different routine. How do people pull this off even? Let's break it down. So the core of these viral videos, like women speaking about all the second husband stuff that's going on the internet, specifically on TikTok, the way women found out is almost cinematic, but in the worst way possible. She was not like snooping through his phone at 3 a.m. in the morning. She was just happened to run errands in the neighboring town on a random Tuesday, stopped by a local park, and saw him. Imagine looking at your husband of several years and the guy you share life with, pushing a little kid on a swing and kissing other women. Your brain would be literally blue screen. And that's what's crazy is how you will handle all of it. Instead of blowing up the bar, causing massive scene, you have to stay ice cold. You drive home, wait for him to come back home, walk through the door, and hit him with the ultimate life check, reality check. You look him in the eye and say, "How was your other family today?" Mic drop. Let's talk about it.
I was just contacted 4 days ago by my fiance's other fiance and their 8 kids. So when she had reached out the night prior, she had just wrote me and was like, "Hey, are you Christopher's fiance? He told me that you were just promo." I'm like, "Yes, I'm his fiance. How did you get my phone number and promo ? She said, "Can you please call me?" I call her, no answer. Call her again, no answer. I'm texting, it's being delivered, but she's not responding. I hit my homegirl up and I send the number to her and I'm like, "Hey, hit this girl up. Like, she just told me she's Christopher's fiance and now she's not answering." So my homegirl is like, "You think he did something to her because she's about to blow his cover?" I'm like, "I don't know what's going on." So she called her, no answer, no response. The next morning, she reaches out to my homegirl, doesn't reach out to me, reaches out to my homegirl though, because she didn't recognize the number. My homegirl tells her who she is and then she merges the call between us. And she's pretty much just like, "Christopher moved me from Arizona to Texas too." That's exactly what he did to me. He moved me from Arizona to Texas. She said he put me in a hotel in Dallas and had me in a hotel in Waco where he actually works. And she was like, "We have 4 kids together. Our baby is 6 months old. And I'm pregnant right now." I'm like, this got to be a joke. I'm looking around because I came out to the car to have this conversation because my kids don't know anything and they're not going to until I can figure out a way to better explain it. But I'm like, nah, I'm looking around like, where's the prank trucks? Like, this is a joke. She flipped the camera and showed Christopher in like 4 different fonts. I'm like, these is his kids. Like, she's like, "And I'm pregnant right now." I'm like, "Girl, do you know his parents?" Like, I just had to ask her, like, "Do you even know his parents?" She was like, "Yeah, I know his parents." She's like, "We be talking and I be telling her how the kids are doing and giving her updates." She said she didn't know that I was pregnant this whole time until I brought the new baby to her house. And then she was like, "Who is this?" And she was like, "This is your grandson." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that you were pregnant." She said that was the mom's reaction. So I'm like, where did you think he's been this whole year? Like, where did you think he's been this whole year? She's like, "I thought that he was in a halfway house wearing an ankle monitor." She said, "I seen your videos and I asked him about your videos and he told me that you were paying him for promotion." So he told you he's been at a halfway house for the last year on an ankle monitor. And you've seen my videos and believed him when he said that I was paying him for promo.
You discovered that your dad had a whole other family?
Yes, a son older than me, a daughter younger than me.
What was it like for you personally in the aftermath of this discovery?
Going through betrayal at that sort of level is very, very difficult to experience, to the point where you start to question everyone else around you. Are people being authentic? Are people being themselves? Because my dad was everything to me, and even he lied at that level. Hence why you saw on The Traitors, for me to identify traits in people that offer trust. You know, I can pick it up quickly. I can smell trust from a mile off. I am from a culture where family is everything, and in terms of being well respected within your Sikh community is everything. We're now positioned as a family that's very respected. So in order for that to be completely wiped away clean and you're now in a complete rut, it's so difficult.
My husband, my rock, has been having an affair for over 17 years. We've been married for over 25 years. We have 3 beautiful children, 2 in college and 1 who still lives at home. But it turns out he's had another set this whole time. Oh my God. Turns out on his week off, he's been with his other family in Albuquerque. He's got a fiance whom he has 2 kids with, both in their early teens. Wow. Oh my God, he's kept that lie up for such a long time. I found out when I went to make a new Facebook account, and when I searched my husband's first name, another profile with another last name popped out, and through that profile were the links to his fiancées and his other kids' Facebooks. Oh.
Let's talk about the guy who created fraudulent bank statements and lied to his wife about his salary, but had a whole other family in a different country. And for context, his parents moved to the United States from their native country before he was born. They got, U.S. citizenship through the naturalization process, and then he got U.S. citizenship because he was born here. They eventually moved the whole family back to their native country, but then they decided that it would be better for him to go to college here in the United States, so that is what he did. And during that, he would go home every summer from college to his native country, and during that process, he ended up marrying a woman from his native country, and they ended up having a son together. And so after he graduated from college, he decided that, he applied for jobs and ended up getting a very, very good job offer, and decided the best thing he could do was to stay in the United States. So he tells his wife at his native country, I'm going to start the paperwork to bring you over here and get you citizenship so you can come stay with me. And so I'm not trying to spoil anything for you, but that paperwork just never happened. So ultimately he ends up going to, because his job is currently structured in a way where he does travel a lot, that is legitimate. But then when he's not traveling, he gets to work remote. So he decides he needs to form some sort of community here. So within the first few months of him living here post-college, he ends up at this church. And during the time at the church, he meets this woman. And of course, he decides he wants to marry this woman. So he ends up marrying her. And he obviously doesn't tell his wife back home that he has married a woman here. And there's not an easy way to trace that. I mean, you can try, but in some countries it is just a lot harder to know if there's another spouse in a different country. So he ends up marrying this American woman here in the United States. And during that process, while they were getting to know each other, he lied about how much he made. He said he made $50,000 when he really made $100,000. And he did that intentionally so that he would be able to continue to send lots of money to his family back in his native country, or his wife and his son in the native country. But the woman in the United States was very trusting. They get married. They end up having 2 kids. She's a stay-at-home mom, and she has access to a credit card. And he is not cheap about it. They talk about budget and long-term goals, but he does not question if she goes and gets fun treats or buys things for the kids. It seems pretty normal. And he also does something called the Financial Roundtable every month, where he prints out all of the bank statements, aka PDFs he's altered, and basically talks about long-term goals, right? So she thinks she's having full financial transparency, when in reality, everything he's producing to her is just altered. It's literally statements he took and put through one of those programs and then just altered the numbers. And so she feels very comfortable that he is being completely transparent with her about the finances, when in reality that was not the case. And so the way that he was able to continue to see his wife is because obviously his wife in his native country was he would just take these travel trips. And so at some point those travel trips seemed to be accelerating. He seemed to be homeless often. So at one point his wife in the United States ends up FaceTiming him, and it doesn't seem like he is where he says he is, okay? The background doesn't match where he says he is. It doesn't even seem like he's in the United States. It just isn't adding up. And so she ends up asking him about it, and he's just basically denying it, saying he's really hurt that she doesn't trust him, and just giving her the whole spiel. So she ends up at some point getting the mail, and he has a W-2 because it's tax season. So she doesn't normally open all of the mail, but she decides she's going to open his W-2. And while she's looking at the W-2, she realizes that his salary is actually double whatever he has told her it is. So at this point now, she's caught him in 2 lies. And so she waits till he comes back to the United States and confronts him, and none of his stories are making sense. As she doesn't usually ask really hard questions, because she's never truly felt like he was dishonest with her, or, she really felt like she had a partnership. And so at some point they end up, she ultimately asks for a divorce, right? And so during the divorce, they do a discovery process. And during the discovery process, he does produce the real bank statements and the real finances. And that is when it becomes very apparent to her that he had altered all of these documents. And because she just trusted the system, and instead of asking him for access to any of these accounts, she obviously found out real late that he was sending a lot of money back home. And so the way he explained it is he alleges that there was no other woman, that it was more of he had sick parents and he was trying to take care of them, and all these things, because he didn't want to make it look like he was dissipating the assets. But then some of the places that he bought things from were clearly either stores that sold like intimate products or like kids stores, like things that just didn't add up. Like it was like very clear that he obviously was just lying about it all. And so at that point they end up getting the divorce, but she ends up getting like kind of a raw deal because he has spent a lot of the money. She obviously gets a little bit more of an equalizer payment because despite the fact that he was able to try to convince everybody he was sending the money overseas, he was trying to say it was with her consent, okay? He was trying to say that she, and then with the PDFs that were altered, he had like a whole story, like he'd gotten rid of most of them, but he basically said she created those in order to make him look bad. Like he basically said like, I didn't create, like I don't even know where she got these from. Like I would produce the real statements during discovery. Like he basically tried to make her look like she was crazy. And so after the divorce was finalized and she got a kind of a raw deal, obviously they still had 2 kids together. And so through that process, the truth came out eventually that he had an older son, because the older son, like the wife back home, like eventually continued to believe that he was trying to work on the immigration system. And he eventually was able to bring over the original wife to the United States. And my understanding is they did not stay here super long. They ended up moving back to their native country for, I think, a compile of reasons that are all just hearsay. I don't actually know that any of those are true. But yeah, basically it's just another cautionary tale, because I think a lot of you were like, there's just no way you wouldn't know that your partner has a wife in another country. And that's just like absolutely not true. It happens more often than you think.
How can someone have an entire family in secrecy? I'll hear stories about like, yeah, and when my dad passed away, we found out that he had a whole other family a couple hours away. They showed up to the funeral and everything. We had no idea they ever existed. My mom had no idea. Think about it like this. People that are married, they never like their in-laws. Most married couples, there's always issues with the in-laws. Imagine having issues with one set of in-laws. Then you got issues with your whole other set of in-laws in your secret family. That has to happen. Like, I'm good. Imagine your kid needs like a kidney or something like that. And they're like, you're the only match. How do you donate a kidney to your kid and then the other family has no idea you just got a whole kidney missing? What happens if you donate your kidney to your kid and then years later, the other kid in the other family ends up needing a kidney and they're like, you're a match. Oh, I already got one. I gave up the other. You gave up your other kidney? I can't even, like, how can someone keep that up? You have 2 whole entire sets of children? I can't even keep a fish alive. Like, I kill every single plant.
So I recently found out that my child's father is about to have another child. And I was kind of processing it with someone. And when I kind of went through all the emotions that I was feeling, she said something to me. She was just like, I am so proud of you for the way how you're thinking about the situation. And I was just like, well, like, I don't know, right? I'm kind of working on my ability to detach, right? So of course, as women, as mothers, we want to be with the father of our children, right? That's a natural feeling, a natural desire, right? Because we want our kids to be raised in 2-parent households. But when I went through and processed all of the things that I was feeling in that moment about that situation, I came to the realization that it's like, well, we're not together. So I've already established that that's not my man. That's not my husband. That's not the person God sent for me. That's the person God sent as a vessel to help change me, to help bring me closer to him, right? Because through that heartbreak, through that situation, through becoming a mother and becoming a single mother, I have gotten closer to God. But I've also processed the thought of, well, I don't want my child to be an only child. So what if I'm not able to have any more kids? What if this is my child's only opportunity to have a sibling? right? And then it's also like the fear of my child becoming or being placed on the back burner, because having a child, a newborn, is a lot of work. I understand that. I went through that, right? So having all those feelings and being able to process them, not only to the person that I was talking to, but with my child's father, felt so like motivating. It made me have the opportunity to process my feelings and not only think about the different outcomes and how it's going to impact me and my child, but also how it's going to impact him and the mother of his second child. Like, what are y'all responses when y'all find out that y'all children's father having another kid? I'm just trying to see.
My name's Kiara. All right, so this is embarrassing. All right, so my question is, how should you handle a guy you've been dating and you found out he has a whole family? I found out with seeing it with my own eyes.
You say, how should you handle it?
Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all something to talk about tonight.
Wait a minute. Maybe I misheard. Let's try this again. He has a family right now?
Yeah, I found out he had a whole family, a dog, a house, a car, a garage.
And you, well, let me ask you first. Let me ask you so I can get into your brain a little bit. How do you think you should handle it?
I mean, you know, cut him off. I mean, of course, but I'm a little spiteful with it.
What?
I'm a little spiteful with it, just a little bit.
So what you planning on doing?
I want everybody to know at this
You want
point.
everybody to know?
Yeah.
You want to leave her mark? Okay, one more. How did you, hold on. Can I just ask a couple more questions? How long have you been messing with this man?
Since I was 23.
How old are you now?
29.
God damn.
Man, you've been knowing that man had a family.
You
gonna get up here.
That's
Over
a
her
lot
line.
of years. That's a lot of years. Okay, that's a
Mike. All right. All right, now. Okay, let me ask you this question.
The nigga's good.
Everybody look to your left, right, say shh. All right. Now, where do y'all have sex at?
At his crib. It was at mine and his.
At his crib?
So that's why I said it's a backstory. How he got it past me for so long is the crib that I have been going to for years and all that stuff. He has been saying he lived there. So it was an incident where.
Okay.
Ain't no girl.
No, go ahead. No. It was, okay. He was saying he was living there, but what? How did you find out that's not his primary house?
So I found out because I moved in that house.
You moved in that house?
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved in the house. So it was like a rental property or something?
It was his crib. So yes, I moved in the house. And the dude, he was obviously getting up going home.
How often was he staying with you at your house? How many nights?
How many nights? We was together every day.
But no, how many nights?
Every now and then.
Every now and then.
That's why I
So
said
hold
nights.
on. Let me get the score right. Just so you were
Every
together.
now and
Hold
then.
on. You were together every day.
Yes.
Rarely every night.
Yes.
You was rarely nights, mostly days. Now, where did he say he was going that night?
Home.
He was going home.
Yes. Majority of the time, yes.
So he didn't call where you were staying home.
No, we always lived separate. I always had my own crib. He had his.
So you never went to his home?
Not where the house where the chick is at. No, I did not. I didn't know she was there.
Okay.
I
now
went to the
all right.
crib that he told me was home for years until I moved in there, and then I found out that's not home.
Okay. Now, how long ago was that?
That was like 5 months ago.
5 months ago.
Yes.
And so he goes to another place. So how did you find out about the family? What happened?
So obviously I move in this crib and I'm like, you know, what is it? Like, you ain't here. Where you going? So he tried not to tell me. So obviously snooped around, found the address, went on over. I seen the whole woman come out. I'm looking at her, she looking at me, and I'm just like devastated.
It took you 6 years to figure that out?
I mean, it was on and off. It wasn't 6 years like straight out. It was on and off. So,
All right, last question.
I mean, I'm a little slow.
Last question. Is he married?
I don't know. I'm assuming, I don't know.
No. What is it? What did it say? All right. Everybody look to your left, right, say shh. What are your initial thoughts?
Oh, wait, does the woman know about you?
I don't know.
So
I didn't even approach her. I try to leave it alone because this is getting crazy.
What did he say is going on in the house? Did he say they're married?
He said he's not married.
He said what?
He said he's not married, but can you really believe him?
Question, I'm just curious for context. Just context only. You say you found out 5 months ago. So like what's been the situation since you finding out?
We done fell all the way out.
When the last time y'all fucked?
Probably like, it wasn't no yesterday. It was probably like 3 months ago.
3 weeks ago?
3 months.
3 months. Okay, so you good. Yeah. So you right now, you're saying, what should I do now? Because you feel like blowing up the spot. You said you were spiteful. So your advice, you want advice to say, what's your next step?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Just clarity. I just want to make sure that the court hears what she's saying. She found out that he has a family 5 months ago. She had sex with him 3 months ago. And now she's wondering what she should do in terms of moving in a relationship with this man.
Are you still at the house?
Yup.
Huh? She said, yup.
Let's count.
You gonna lie to us on TV? It's crazy.
All right, you still at the
I'm gonna
house.
be a fucking face.
All right, you still at the house. All right. Okay. Kitty, what's your initial thoughts? Just initial thoughts.
Oh my God. Baby, your story stressed me out. Let me start there. You found out 5 months ago.
Yeah.
She slept with him 3 months ago after finding out that he has a family. And she still stayed there after finding out that he still has a family with a white picket fence and a dog and a mama and everything else, right? You found that out and you still chose to stay in this home. And you still chose 2 months after finding out about that to sleep with this person. You know you wrong, right?
I know.
He was wrong first, but as soon as you found that, it became your responsibility to leave him alone. And you made a choice not to leave him alone. Why are you still staying in that house?
I'm in the process of moving.
How long that's gonna take you?
Huh?
How long that's gonna take you?
Next week at this point.
Is it free rent?
Do you,
Was the house
okay,
free
hold on.
rent?
Do you see anything wrong with the situation?
Everything's wrong with it.
From your end, not from him. From your end.
Everything's wrong with it.
From your end.
Yes.
With what you still doing now.
Yes, I feel like a dummy for being
Are you
there.
still communicating with this man?
Huh?
Are you still communicating with him?
No, we're not really communicating.
You said y'all not really. What's that mean?
Meaning, if he got something he want to tell me, and I know this is gonna sound
No,
bad,
baby.
this is embarrassing. If he got something he want to tell me, he might like send it to my son or something.
Yo, who?
Your son. He got the son number. Stepdaddy season. Listen, you better stay in that house till the sheriff come and kick you the fuck out. I want you to save every penny for that mortgage. Don't ask no more questions. You got everything you need to know, but rent is high as a motherfucker. Stack your coin, okay? Stack the coin. Don't ask no more questions.
But what about the woman who's at home with their children thinking that this man is faithful? Hold on.
No, she don't think that.
Tell that nigga
she
you
don't
want
think that.
15,000 or you going over there.
No, hold on. Stop.
All right, Dr.
Hold on.
Brian.
Because if we're going to keep it real, can we keep it real in here? The woman who's at home with the kids also know what kind of dude she got too. Let's not play stupid. And I'm going to say this to you, baby, and I'm going to wrap it with love, okay? It sounds like you, and I'm saying this to be gentle, it sounds like you went into it thinking that you was the girlfriend. I don't know how when he wasn't there many nights. But now that it's very clear that you were the side piece, are you okay with staying the side piece?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so if you are not okay with being the side piece, then what is your decision, baby?
I'm leaving.
You doing what?
I'm leaving.
Say it a little louder.
I'm leaving.
There you go. She's got her decision.
Question. I mean, it's just like
Hey, wait,
loosely.
before she walk off, like, look, we all human. I live by something, and it's like, you're 20, you said you're 29, right? You said you're 29?
Yes.
So I feel like your 20s, it's okay to make mistakes. You made a mistake. Just learn from it and move on. Like, you know what you're supposed to do. You know that. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad, because a lot of people in this audience are going through the same thing. They just not brave enough to step up to that mic and admit it. So don't beat yourself up. It's life. We're human. It happens. Move on. Just clean slate. You don't need to let his wife know. That's not your business. Just take what you learned and move
with
on.
A clean slate, as clean as it's
I
gonna be.
would send a note. A note. Thank you for your question.
Yeah,
I
and really
appreciate it.
quick, I want to say this to you, and don't feel like the other woman is winning, because nobody's winning in this situation. He's a womanizer. That man is a no good dude. So take it as a blessing that you now know what you know, and don't feel like no one has one up. Pivot and do your thing.
And make sure, baby, that you find you some homegirls and some FBI agents. Because they're going to find out by week 2.
I think we also got to acknowledge that all niggas just not created equal. Let's just put the shit on the table. She says she found out 5 months ago, had sex 3 months ago. So that means 2 months after I found out, what's the mindset 2 months for these 2 months up until the 3? Of like why I'm not walking or why I'm not leaving. I found out this man has a whole family. He got a girl, he got 3 kids, all that shit. And I stayed there for 2 more extra months and had sex again.
Sometimes you got to figure your situation out before you make your next move.
She had to pay that rent.